Calling the meeting to order now. Start.
Alright,
Meeting's in session. Alright. I'll wait for Jimmy to collect everybody's information and we'll go forward.
I've got everything.
Got everything? Okay, good. What about item 3 here, whether a quorum of voting members are present?
Yes.
I would say yes, right, because we got 4 out of 5.
Yes.
All right, brief description of topics to discuss. Plumbing, the freeze, plumbing, and plumbing. That's what we're gonna discuss tonight, mainly. Okay, next item, approve the meetings of the minutes for the previous month's board meetings. That would be December. And Darren, you just sent another updated?
Yes.
Okay. Has everybody reviewed the December minutes?
I've had a chance to fully review, the updated ones yet.
You have or have not?
Haven't.
Go ahead and take a look. He emailed it. We're gonna vote on approval.
Here's copies of it here if anybody wants to look at it.
I was talking about
That's the
Darren's
latest.
version.
That's
I didn't
Darren's
get a
latest
chance to
version.
fully
Two
review his version.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out if that's what those are.
Every two weeks.
Jimmy, is that Darren's
Yeah.
latest
We
version?
need to be careful because mine had the executive session as well.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're supposed to definitely speak about the detail of the course.
Mike's check and see if that's your version. It's okay.
That's
You didn't
my
know.
version. I don't know what his version is.
I mean, it's supposed to be in there just without any names or any specifics, but definitely, what we're conversing about.
Okay.
It's fine.
So did you check the latest?
No,
So
not
we
the
can
latest.
vote. We'd like to get that going.
Let's see.
This is the one. These are the benefits of what's coming down the pipe.
I mean, we can continue on reviewing this.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next item. President's report, accomplishments and objectives. We were able to accomplish teamwork, actually, to get all the valves open for the freeze. It was pretty successful in getting that coordinated. However, of course, opening the valves didn't seem to work, and I believe that had to do with the rate of flow. Other than that, I would say we were able to get the 3 as of tonight. We got all 3 of our estimates for getting some repairs out here. Don't know if it was necessarily needed, but because it was such a large amount, I thought it would be prudent and want to be transparent and go ahead and follow 209 for such a large amount of money. The problem we've got right now is the quote for the repair of the fire lines. That's still in progress. We've got a contractor trying to repair this as soon as possible. So as far as getting anything accomplished, getting that going is pretty much what I've accomplished. Rick Wall has decided to step down as treasurer. In the meantime, I've worked with Tony on this, and unfortunately, our bookkeepers decided to take the week off, and they just today got me the details of the financial report, but Tony suggested I give you the current balances. So the current balance right now for checking is $54,588.65. Savings is still the same at $60,949.79.
What's the balance again?
For which ones? Savings or
Both.
checking? Checking is $54,588.65. Savings is $60,949.79. Okay, we're moving on to unfinished business. Discuss the progress of the CPA audit. We've got a CPA ready to do our audit. He wants, actually, I think it was Dave Martin, CPA. The cost is $2,000. Rick was asking about our bookkeeper, since Candace is a CPA. I texted her today and she said she's never done it because she was always told we had to get an outside auditor. People I've talked to have said they think it's a good idea to have an outside auditor just to double check what our bookkeepers are doing. I'm okay with it. It is expensive, but Rick, did you
Rick, how do
want
you feel about it,
to
man?
expand on that?
Well, my reason is, here's the deal. You got an auditor report every month. Should that not be legitimate?
Yes. I think it's a huge waste of money to do it annually, and that we need to find a bookkeeper, one that can do that in conjunction, or, whatever you think, Rick.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'd like to interject my 2 cents worth. DCCR's and bylaws says that we have to have an annual audit by CPA, period, okay?
Now,
Now-
that is at the treasurer.
Hold on, Rick, let it finish.
Let me finish my little spiel here, okay? The rules say that we don't print that financial out except once a year during the annual meeting. That's when the financials come on. So maybe that's why they decided to give us the audit, because we're giving it out monthly. We're not required to give it out monthly. You know, we're required to possess it, you know, and if someone wants to see it, then they can request to see it, whatever. But it's only required in the annual meetings, not every month. So maybe that's why that they wanted the CPA audit, and that's why it's in the books like that. But for now, it's in the books.
Darren, you want to try that?
Now, the treasurer's report, I'll chime in.
Hold on. Darren's turn.
I never got my 30
Nothing.
minutes.
No comments.
No comments? Okay,
Pass.
go ahead, Rick.
My 3 minutes is, hey, as a treasurer, if you're reporting everything and you're doing everything, yes, you have to be audited by that. But if you got a CPA accountant doing the books for you, no. They're audited reports every month. Why should you pay $2,900 or $2,000 annually for that?
Agree.
Does anybody agree with that or disagree? Members or anybody?
I agree with you 100%.
Wish we had an attorney's opinion on that.
What you said makes precise sense, and it's a big savings to go towards an actual.
Sharon, do you agree?
Yeah,
You got a
question, if any
CPA
members-
audit every month.
Agreed or not?
Okay, guys, we gotta follow Robert's rules. Raise your hand if you wanna comment or whatever.
Wait a minute, I still got 3 minutes. You hadn't called my 3 minutes yet.
Okay, go ahead.
You agree or disagree? If it's an auditor report by a CPA every month, then why should we have to report back to another different CPA to do that?
My only 2 cents on this are that the bookkeepers, when I was over there one time months ago, told me that they were working hard to get the books into an auditable format, auditable condition. So if that is their goal, that was their goal and they reached that objective, the only reason I can actually understand to have an audit is to prove that they did their job. But if, I don't know what to say about the rules though. Like, I know what the rule says, and
Jimmy,
and I
do you
understand
agree
what
or
you're saying about the
disagree?
intent, Rick.
If you got a CPA firm doing your books every month, do you agree or disagree with that?
I've said my piece. All I know is it's in the rules. And why it's in the rules, I can't say.
Members,
I
do
can't
you have
remember why
anything to
it's in the
say?
rules.
I've got some.
Hold on,
conditions.
I don't think it's something.
we have rules to follow here, guys, okay? Jimmy, are you done?
Yes.
Okay. Are there members here, any members here that want to chime in on this at all?
Well, I think I understand what you're saying. If the CPA is doing the books, that's a good thing. However, the reason they have it, and I think most associations have that rule, that you need an annual audit. It's to make sure that the books are maintained in an orderly fashion. And I think you were just saying, somebody was just saying that right now, they're not, say, quite up to snuff. Well,
Right.
they should be up to snuff at least every month and ready for audit. So it might be good to have that audit just to make sure that they do get them up to snuff. Get them into the order that they should be in. And the other reason it's important is in case there's some, discrepancies, between the accounting firm, and we need an audit to make sure that all the books are right, that nobody's using money they shouldn't be for whatever. And those two reasons I think are important.
And the ladies wanna chime in on it?
I agree.
I agree too. I think if you wait too long and then you have problems and then you've waited a year and you didn't do it and then it just makes a bigger mess up.
Go ahead, sir.
What I'm hearing, I haven't been here before, but what I'm hearing is that not long ago, your books were not in order. Okay? I don't know, I haven't seen the monthly report, but is the monthly report CPA audited with a stamp of approval, with his signature or anything like that?
No.
Okay, then you have no legs to stand on, you have to have an audit.
Okay, Kurt?
Any other non-board member wanna chime in? Okay, go ahead, Eric.
Well, I mean, that's the main thing I'm looking at. One is our current bookkeeper is incredibly expensive, taking nearly a third of our proceeds. Secondly, why is this auditor, how much? $2,900 annually?
$2,000.
2,000. That seems just for our simple organization of our bookkeeping does seem pricey. But I think we can all agree that we'd like to find new bookkeepers that are much more reasonable in cost just for our small marina of 200 slips. Because that's an excessive amount. Wouldn't you agree with that, Rick? That's an hugely
Yes.
excessive
The
amount.
subject is the CPA audit, so.
But it all coincides. All
Well, I'll
information
bring,
coincides.
we're gonna discuss the bookkeepers here pretty soon, but we need to stay on the
Alright,
subject.
well, this still is my 3 minutes, but anyway, so that's what I'm looking at, we need to definitely get some other quotes for any projects going forward, let's get 3 and see if we can find a better cost for the auditor. If it is required, we all agree to utilize this, let's find a better price range in conjunction with the bookkeeper that's correlated to this. That's it.
I agree with that. You wanna head that up, so you can
What?
find a cheaper
Yeah.
CPA
Yeah.
He wants to find a cheaper CPA.
for the audit, a better price?
We don't have a time schedule for an audit, just an annual audit.
Right.
No date or anything on
Okay, so Eric will put you down and setting that up.
Okay.
All right, discuss the status of the security cameras. Did you get that quote for us?
Yeah, I've got the links ready with it meets the price range we decided on. I mean, look at the current, pricing here, but definitely have the links ready to purchase them anytime.
Okay, we need a quote showing the electrical outlets being
I
installed.
told you, via text message, anytime you're ready, I've got the direct down to the cent pricing on both the extenders.
This is, it was for this monthly meeting. We've had 4 weeks to put this together.
Right now, I told you, I've been ready, I've been absolutely ready, we decided.
So did you bring it tonight?
No,
Okay, we need the quote to see the numbers.
okay, but you can just reply to my messages, all we have to do, get that resolved, it's ready, it's been ready.
Okay, well, it's a given. If you have the quote, just bring it to the meeting. We're ready.
Or we can just solve it during the month, anytime we decide to.
Okay, what is it?
Anytime.
What's the cost on that?
I didn't memorize it, but I did text and email you regarding the pricing, saying have it ready, links are ready to purchase. Already decided it's below a certain dollar figure, and so let's go ahead and make the purchase at any given time.
The only thing I got from you is, yes, I have the links. I haven't seen an actual quote. How much was the electrical on that quote?
The electrical,
Yeah, we need, for cameras, you gotta have power, right?
Oh, I mean, I didn't get any,
Look at the
on this
last,
side,
on the last
I didn't
meeting,
get any electrician quotes.
yeah, on the last meeting we discussed for these cameras, we would need a
Well, that's
quote
something, as far
for
as
the-
that goes,
for the cameras and for the power and all that stuff. We wanted a complete quote to cover all the costs
yeah.
at the last meeting.
And
And that's what I was hoping to
If we're gonna
see.
get a quote for the electrical, put something on that side, we need to get Darren's guy on that. I think that's a good solution.
Okay,
And I do trust Darren's judgment on that.
okay. If you can put that together, a complete report and send it to everybody and sit down in a spreadsheet or something showing all those costs, that would be nice.
Well, we're ready to purchase, because again, it's below what we decided on. It's ready to purchase, it's already board approved, we can move forward with it at any time. Whenever you're ready to purchase it, it's been ready.
Yeah, I think the board would like to see the numbers, the
Again,
cost.
it's below the cost, it's already board approved, so it's ready to go.
Okay, again, we'd like to see the numbers, like with anything. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next topic here. Where'd you go?
I'm here,
Okay.
next to my officer.
Okay. Discuss old business of associate management
Right.
fees. The law firm, we had could not represent us against Associate. We should address this problem, not to keep ignoring, hoping it will go away. I've basically just told her we're looking into it still, but according to the board members, it wasn't a legal contract because they didn't have that, what was it called, Eric? The,
A
notary?
notarized, right, and also it was a, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it was a DocuSign, so we don't know who remembers any DocuSign, the digital transaction would not hold up in a court of law, there was no real signature, and as Rick had suggested, there's no corporate seal, so that's another facet, according to our DCCR bylaws, forget which one requires our corporate seal. And so those many facets, it's not a legal document that we need to worry about. I thought we decided not to pay it.
I'm in the opinion that we should not pay it.
Okay,
If
great.
they can prove they did actual work somewhere, maybe we'd pay for that, otherwise, definitely not paying that whole bill, cause I think their price is very over the top. But in terms of moving forward with it, do we wait for them, or do we go ahead and proactively contact them and just tell them, you know, we're not gonna pay for it? Now, I did email them and ask them for documentation showing them what work they did, they haven't replied yet, so
Okay.
that's where I am with it, but if anybody else has anything else to chime in on that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wait for them to respond.
You have initiated that contact.
Yes, I reached out to them and asked them to show me proof of the work they've done, and they've yet to get back with me.
That's more than reasonable.
Agree.
All right, next subject is discuss the A&R summary, delinquent accounts, and setting up with Transworld Systems to vote on who will be the point of contact. I reached out to Transworld, they're just waiting to train somebody. I went ahead and told her I was available for training, but Eric, would you like to get trained on that as well?
Sure.
Okay. Anybody else wanna get trained on the Transworld? Training for to go out and to figure out their system, be interested there?
This is for the evictions.
Right. Delinquent accounts. Right, go ahead.
I'm not tempted to what to do there, but it's outside of experience based.
Yeah, they would train you, and then we would look at all different accounts, so, no.
Or maybe give some time just to think about it, you know, if we want to do it.
Yeah. I want, Jamie, I want you to expand on what you were discussing with it. I mean, I was basically just going to, let them review all of the delinquent accounts and then get back with us after the training, but did you have any kind of input on that, Jimmy, as far as?
Well, we need to know where we're at with the bookkeeper. We can't do it without good solid information, because I'm gonna be sending out letters to people that are caught up, that are paid up. So the bookkeeper has to be involved in that to let us know we need to up, you know, because that's what I say, you know, it changes from day to day.
Right, I've requested the A&R report from them
Gotta stay
twice
on top
now.
of it.
Right.
Yeah,
I've
once we
requested
get-
it
once we
twice.
get it- Once we get it implemented and we start using it, but right now, there's nothing been implemented, so we're so far behind, you know, it's gonna take some catching up to do. But we need the bookkeeper right now to tell us who's paid up and who's not.
And she's done it for me twice, so where do we go from here? Every time I've asked her for an A&R report, she's provided the A&R report.
Well, you said you were gonna talk to,
I
Mark.
did.
What's his name?
Talk to who?
I disagree.
You were gonna talk to.
They did not get back with you on time. I disagree.
On the A&R report, they actually did.
Yes.
They did.
In our report, they do not
Every
get back
time?
with you on time.
No, every time I've asked for that report, they've gotten it back to me within a day.
Not with me.
What do you mean, not with you?
Well, because you want to be the treasurer,
Right.
ask them that. Never had heard an answer.
You asked them for the A&R report?
Yes.
Okay. They were probably waiting for the legal transition.
No, you already sent them a deal and they said contact Kurt because he's the point of contact.
Yeah, I think I talked to Stacy on the phone one time. I told her, I said, yeah, Rick's.
I can actually show that email and stipulate that.
Okay. So.
And I'm not arguing.
Okay, here's my question to everybody is, if I request an A&R report and they get it back to me within a day, is that good enough for you guys to take a look at this?
What'd you say?
If I request an A&R report and they get that back to me within the end of the day, is that sufficient for us
No,
to?
because they have never done their job. They've never done their job.
Okay, I'm a little lost here because I was asked twice to get the A&R report. I requested it and I got it within the day. How fresh do we need to have this report? And what is it we need to go further with this?
Well, with that being said, if we send out contacts and the people say they're paid up, then, they need to show us that they're paid up and we'll just start scratching them off the list. 'Cause, you know, at some point, we need to get an updated list. We need to send everything out and then we're gonna get responses back from people or we're not gonna get responses back from people. And, that's where we need to go with that.
Right.
And you want us to
We
do
need
that and not?
We need to be involved with this.
Okay, so when you say we, are we discussing Trans World reaching out to these people or us as a
We have
board?
to do that. Transworld don't know who to send it out to. We have to tell Transworld who to send it out to. But you'll learn that with the training, I'm assuming.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then, and
We
then
need
it
to get
sounds
with
to me
Transworld.
like we
get
need
with
to
Transworld and start.
wait till I get trained, I'll stop bothering for an AR report until the training is complete. And we'll go from there. And then we can, as a board, you wanna look at this together to review these?
Sure.
Are we gonna wait till the monthly meeting, or can we hold a weekly meeting to get that initiated so it doesn't expire on us?
Once we get that, we need to proceed with it. Otherwise, it's gonna change.
That's gonna be tricky.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky until we get it implemented, get it started rolling. And right now,
All right, we'll wait until training.
That's why I always told y'all to make the most indebtedness to the board, pay the board. If somebody owes $1,800, they owe $1,800. Go after them first.
True.
Yeah, I think we all
Do
agree.
you
on
agree,
that.
Darren?
I agree.
I agree, I think we all agree.
If I understand you correctly, I agree. Yes. Go after the
Go ahead,
most
Jimmy.
indebted first.
Yes.
It's a big fish.
we're not talking about collecting. We're talking
Yeah.
about people that are delinquent.
Now,
And anybody that's 60 days in
you
delinquent.
look at the
needs-
right-hand side of that
Hold
column.
on,
Rick,
hold on,
Give him his
hold on,
time.
hold on. It tells you clearly right here, 1 to 30 days delinquent, 31 to 60 days delinquent, not 61 to 90 days delinquent, or greater than 90 days delinquent, okay? Anybody that's 1 to 30 days delinquent, that's beyond the 15th is the due date. So anybody that hadn't paid, beyond that right there, their name goes in that first list. They need to be sent a letter. The next guy in the next fine over there, 31 to 60, you know, if they're in that deal over there, they need to be sent a letter. 91, not 61 to 90, you know, they're in that column over there, they need to be sent a letter. We don't need to go down over here, people that owe us $1,800, we go after them, you know? We need to send everybody a letter that's delinquent and start from there. The ones that owe a lot of money, we'll feather that out in the end. But as far as saying, let's go after the people with the most amount of money, you know, is spinning the
That's
wheel.
the ones
We need to
that
go out
has
after
the
the
most
people,
problems.
not go after them. We're not talking about going after money, we're talking about sending out a notice. Transworld
Right.
sends out notices. They don't go after money. If it gets to the point to where they can't recover the money, that's when we have to get somebody to go after the money.
Right.
And we will narrow this down real quick. But if they're 30 days, then we get to charge interest at 9%, 10%, 15%, whatever the DCCRs, whatever the bylaws say. I think it's at 15% now. You know, it started out at 9, whatever. But if they're, you know, once they get in that 30-day bracket, they need to be sent a notice. You know, and that way it don't get to that $1,800. And we know well ahead of time before it gets to $1,800 to eliminate that 18, in my opinion, to get rid of that.
Eric, you wanna chime in?
Hey, sure, okay, I did have a thought, and that is with the collections, I did email Paulette, and I never got the final determination if it automatically goes into that collection stage and where they take half of any funds collected. Did you ever get a response from her on that?
Yeah, actually, not only did I get a response from her, I emailed everybody,
Okay,
the information, and I also pulled information off the web, so I sent that out as soon as you asked for it.
but did we determine whether it goes into that status of automatically, or they can call and, hey, we're gonna go with
I
collections?
talked to her and she said that, sure, if we wanna wait before we actually do that, they're willing to do that.
Good,
So they can do
Perfect.
whatever we tell them to do.
okay,
So she answered my question.
okay, that's perfect. As
Rick?
far as which one's the bigger fish to fry, I'm still up in the air on that. I mean, I do understand Rick's point and Jimmy's, so, Darren, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, you got your time, I'm gonna ask him next.
That's
Are you
the
done?
question that I have, I'd like to find out from the board members, aside Jimmy, I know Rick's viewpoint, and now I'd like to know what Darren's is.
Okay, let me stop the timer. Go ahead, Aaron.
I think you go after, wow. The ones that are heavily in debt, you know, the odds of them ever getting back good or low, right?
Maybe, I mean, Christian paid his.
But, yeah, I think we do owe it to give them a shot,
Yeah,
and we do need to be diligent about making sure that we send out notices, late notices promptly, like Jimmy said.
Okay,
That's my thought.
Rick, go ahead.
I would go after the most delinquent accounts and who owes the most. That's it.
just real quick, we only have 100 slots before they're done, so it sounds like we do, at the 30-day period, we go through our 100 slots pretty quickly. Especially if they're residually late every month.
Okay. I'm gonna give the, Transworld people the time to get with them and get the training, and then you can get your training, and then after we're done with the training, we'll probably have a better grip on this.
Okay.
So I would like to make a motion right now in front of the board to motion a new board member before anybody, since the board's all here.
Okay,
I would like to motion Dave Martin for the board. Who seconds that?
I'll second
We
it.
haven't finished the.
No, we don't have to. You
That's
can,
fine.
you
I'll
can do
second.
He
this.
can make a motion if he wants to.
You can make a motion,
I second it.
okay? Do you wanna put it to a vote of the board?
Yes.
Okay, I do too.
Okay.
All board members voted in favor of Dave Martin? Aye.
Aye.
So we got 3-2. Dave Martin, call him on the phone right now.
I'm actually gonna accept it on his behalf, he's actually tied up right now, but he's absolutely, joined the board. I was given
So
authority
he's
to
on the
accept his
board,
behalf.
as far as we know right now,
Yes,
next month.
yes,
Dave Martin is.
correct.
Okay.
You recording?
Yes.
You're recording that.
Okay.
Anybody disagree? Members? Jimmy, you can all you want, but members?
What?
They probably don't know who he is.
Well, we know who he is, but if he's the,
Do you like Dave Martin?
That's not.
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
No, I mean, I like to
Great
hear
question.
members.
So Dave Martin
Progress.
was, you know, everybody
Do
knows
you-
Dave Martin.
Do you like
was
Dave Martin?
Previous
That's a
president.
great question.
Yeah, I think he'd
And-
be a real asset to get him back on the board. Just
And you're
because-
Jerry, right?
Right, Jerry Aho,
I'm Rick. Nice to meet you finally.
same here.
Yes, sir.
He'd be a real asset, just from his
Okay,
knowledge.
I'm
and
getting
his
Jerry
experience.
Aho's response right now. Darren, could you respond to this or type this? Go ahead.
Yeah, just what, the only thing I wanted to say was that, I've talked to Dave about it, and I think he's interested, obviously Nasser is as well, and, I think he's very interested in getting back on the board and helping out where he can.
Right,
right.
You guys
Time
have really
permits.
done, I think, I was just sitting here a little bit ago, and I'm just another comment. Compared to where you were, say, 4 or 5 months ago, I
Right.
think if you continue to mature as a board, more knowledge, you know.
Kurt's done a great job.
And Kurt's done a
And then we
very
got
great
Darren,
job.
we were lucky,
Hey,
fortunate to get Darren.
We were
too.
lucky to,
Excellent.
fortunate to get Kurt, Doug, Darren.
Yeah. I mean,
But I think that,
Doug was supposed to be here tonight.
Right, he was, he was.
He was supposed to be
I
here.
think he'd be a
Jerry-
real asset to you.
Have you met Darren officially?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Darren's a great guy and
He's a
one
non-member
of my
board.
favorites.
Nice to meet you.
Jerry.
Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Yeah, he's on the non-living board side, so I'm sure you like that. That's which is great. Even
Well,
though-
I'm not a little board.
You're both. That doesn't
You-
count. You're neutral.
I'm bidoctual.
Yeah, no, but you're neutral. You
I'm
they can't each other
bidoctual.
out. You're
Okay.
I got a
neutral.
livable board and an
All right,
honorable
So
board.
you go both ways.
Exactly.
Sorry, I.
Swing both ways.
Hey, you.
Jerry
got yourself
Ahern,
open on that
you're
one.
right.
All right, Rich, let's get back here in order. I'm the chairman. You can make a motion, that's fine, but we gotta stay on schedule here.
Already did, and it was voted in.
Right, we're moving on to the next thing now.
Good work, Rick.
What was voted in?
Dave Martin's on the board,
How did Dave Martin get on the board?
because
He just
it's
called a
3
motion.
against 2.
Yeah.
3 to 2?
Yeah,
No, it needs 4 people.
no, it does not.
Yes, it
Does
does.
not.
It needs a quorum. We got 5 as a quorum.
No.
Ask Jerry Aho, we got a quorum, do we or
I think
do
so,
we
I
not?
think so. yeah.
Yes, we do. Legally, yes.
I think a quorum would be 4, right? We're supposed to have
No,
7
no.
members, if a quorum would be 4 people
No.
out of the 7.
We don't have
members.
7 board members right now. We don't have 7
That's
board
correct.
members right now.
It don't
Right.
matter.
It doesn't matter. They
We don't have
now on
7,
the
no,
team.
but it's still, it's required 7, so we're.
No, Jimmy, I'm telling you right now, I asked Jerry
I
Aho.
agree, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and I agree,
I'll
I
ask
agree with you.
any other member right now to agree with me, and
Yeah.
they're gonna disagree with you, the members are. Right now, Jimmy,
Sure.
do you wanna place this on the docket or not?
Well, even then, we can hold another motion whether we agree with them or not, so.
Okay, I don't wanna waste my time arguing about this, so we're gonna move on.
But then it's
I'll get a
important.
legal
We have
opinion.
Dave Martin on the team.
I will get a legal opinion on this, but
It's not needed. No,
I
it's
feel
not
like
needed.
you guys are tricked, but we've got to move. I do not wanna argue on
Wait
this.
a minute, Nasser
We're
did
not-
not show up.
Order. I'm gonna get that hammer. We don't need to argue tonight about this. This is the problem with this whole marina, is people wanna argue stuff forever, and I'm not into this arguing stuff.
I'm out of
You
here.
make,
No, brother.
you
Brother,
make a
you're
vote,
staying.
you make a vote.
I did make a vote.
It passed.
The vote's
We're
staying.
moving on.
Passed.
We'll debate it
Jimmy.
later. We'll debate it later.
No,
We're not gonna
there's no
debate,
debate.
it's a motion.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
already been
let's
passed.
move on to the next subject.
Okay, but wait, hang on.
It was
I need
recorded.
my time to say
I am
no.
the chairman and we're
That's
moving
fair.
on.
You cannot
I'm not
overrule
gonna,
me.
we're
You're
not gonna
overruling
argue
me.
and argue
Okay.
and argue.
Stand
I
hands
agree
down.
with Kurt, we're
No,
not gonna
we're
argue
moving
no
on.
more.
Sure, no argue, but I'm gonna speak.
No, we're
Darren
following
already
Robert's
said
rules.
he
I'm the chairman, we're moving on to the
documented
next
it.
You
item.
cannot
passed.
overrule me from speaking.
Officer, we're just getting out of order right now. And if they keep interrupting me, I'm gonna ask people to be removed.
You cannot do that legally.
Yes, I
You
can.
cannot do that legally, because
That's
no
why
one
he's
break
here.
any laws.
We got
don't
Robert's
remove
rules of
someone
order.
Breaking laws. And I can contact my law firm.
Are we gonna have order or not? Or are we just gonna all argue?
Not until I get my 3 minutes to speak about Dave Martin.
You already made a motion, or Rick made a motion,
And it's
the
been
motion's
confirmed.
passed, we're gonna move on to the next thing.
And I want to be confirmed on record that we now have.
It's
Dave
already
Martin on the
recorded.
Team.
It's already recorded,
Dave Martin's on the team.
Yes, he
Recorded.
is.
then recorded. If somebody
Okay.
wants
He's
to
on the team.
contest that, we can do that at a later time.
Yeah, as of right
Let's
now,
move
he's
on.
on our team.
Further inspection of the fire line on dock 11, actually budget for the dock repairs and the electrical quotes for sub-meter replacements. Everything is on hold right now until we find out how much the fire lines are gonna cost us to replace. Now, we do have the emergency funds in our savings account. Everybody's afraid to spend it. Now, I think everybody would agree as far as repairing the fire lines, that if we don't repair them and there's a fire, it's gonna cost us a lot of money for those repairs, and we're not insured for our common areas. So it's pretty common sense to me that we need to get those fire hose supply lines repaired in conjunction with the domestic water lines. And thanks, Jimmy, for getting the liveaboard up and running, so everybody has water. I spoke to another plumber. He did the waiver, and he got it notarized, and I asked him as far as the water supply. Eric, pertains to you to get those 4
Okay.
finger piers, and I want him to make that a priority to get that.
Okay, your 3 minutes are
In-
over,
in conjunction.
taking time,
Okay.
In conjunction.
taking time. Your 3 minutes are over,
Whose 3 minutes are over?
yours.
I'm 2 minutes.
No, you don't.
What do you mean, no, I don't?
You said 3 minutes apiece
Right.
for every official on the
I'm
board.
just giving information right now. Now,
Doesn't matter.
if you want something, raise your hand, Rick, and I'll let you speak for 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Isn't this great? Silence.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll.
Jerry Aho, do you agree? Silence is great.
True enough.
I agree with that.
Calm down, everybody. Calm down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm done.
I like it, that was good.
Okay, concerning the fire lines, any questions on that? Eric, go.
Okay, just real briefly, from what I understand, we're basically self-insured, so tapping into our self-insured account, which is our savings account.
60 grand.
Right, we need to keep it at that range, because that's our self-insurance for actual catastrophes. So I say we need to definitely review this as a board and see what the best option is to go, because I haven't had time to really review the expenses, and of course, getting multiple bids for these fire lines that I'm not real familiar about. And going forward, that's all I have for now, is we need to definitely keep that intact. And I'm gonna ask the board members, do y'all agree with that, being self-insured?
I agree 100%.
We're not making any motions right now, just go ahead and give
Okay.
your opinion.
Well,
Give me
I'm
your
asking the board's
motion.
opinion.
Give me your motion.
My motion is to not delve into our self-insured account, which is our savings account,
For,
using it for the.
Self-insured.
Do what? Right.
For self-insured.
But that needs to stay for actual catastrophes, not for these fire lines, which again, I'm still not familiar with, and you can burst on that, maybe speak again with Nassau Bay Fire Protection, because I don't know what all is involved with this. But that's what my motion for, and you seconded.
I'll second it.
I can tell you what's involved in it.
Okay.
Our fire lines are broken,
For how long?
who knows?
Now, Jimmy, you've been on the board for 8 years.
It's got nothing to do with
How
the
long?
fire lines, I did
Wait a
not-
minute,
have you
wait a
tried-
minute.
No, we're not gonna argue about this.
No,
I'm not
no,
arguing.
no, Rick,
I'm just saying.
Rick, I
How
do not
long?
crawl underneath the docks and go look at the fire line. I do not crank the valves open and open up the fire lines. Being on the board doesn't cause me to go check all the fire lines. It should have, but I didn't, but I have now, so I can tell you now that the fire lines are not functional. So is that something that we need to spend the reserve on? I'll let y'all decide. But right now, the fire lines are not functional. Period.
Darren, you wanted to chime in?
With the exception of the townhomes on 18. You're covered.
Remember that these lines.
Anything else?
That's
These
it.
are self-insurance, that money is.
Darren, did you wanna chime in?
For the benefit of everyone here who's not familiar with this.
I wanted
if
to
you
feel
could-
it,
If
yeah.
you could give like a 30-second summary of what's
Yeah,
going on.
this is real simple. We just had a freeze, it failed. In the process of repairing our lines, we discovered from the contractor that our fire lines are broke. So, I consider it an emergency if we've got broken fire lines. If there's a fire on the dock right now, what is that gonna cost versus paying a contractor to take care of this? Now, we don't know what that number is, so I put everything on hold to find out what this is gonna cost us. He's every time he does something, he finds a new problem. So there's no way to get an exact amount right now. I consider it an emergency. If we get a fire right now on that dock, our fire lines are not working. So I don't know what you constitute an emergency, but to me, that's an emergency. I mean, are we gonna wait till next month and get 3 bids and stuff while the docks are on fire? I mean, we've gotta move quickly on this. I told him to go ahead and move forward and repair them. It's hard to get plumbers right now with all the freeze damage out there. And when it comes to a fire on our docks, I consider it an emergency.
Okay, what does it cost again?
We don't have an estimate, he's fixing it as we're speaking.
Well, can we get multiple bids to continue forward? Then we have extinguishers over there, correct?
We have an emergency and we wanna get multiple bids.
As long as we have.
So
a
I'm gonna
load
stop
that
his
will-
work right now and wait for other plumbers to bid on this, and we don't even know where we're at, because as he's making repairs, so this is the way it works. He repairs something, he pressurizes the line, he finds a new leak somewhere. Okay, he turns it off, he fixes that problem, repressures, then he finds a leak somewhere else. This is our fire, this isn't domestic water where it's an inconvenience, this is a necessity.
And also, are we using PEX?
This is
Yeah.
for the fire line, you're talking to two.
You
inch
gotta
fire.
use
Right,
galvanized.
the
This is-
broken
this is
line.
You
code-
gotta
this
use
is fire
galvanized
lines.
for fire lines.
No, we're talking strictly right now, the
Correct,
emergency is
Jimmy.
the fire.
You gotta use
Those are
galvanized for
2 inch
fire lines.
galvanized pipes.
Right, I knew
You
that.
can't use PEX, you can't use
No, I knew that,
PVC
right.
They don't
or
make
anything,
PEX that-
cause of the high pressure line.
Sure, I knew that.
Don't say that real loud though.
Well, that's another question for you.
Okay,
Now,
call your buddy Tim Stebbins right now.
Mhm.
Call him, cause he's the one that replaced all them.
18 over there is not
Hose
a
lines.
PVC line.
would they
Hold on,
extend?
wait a minute,
if
your
there was a
buddy
fire
Tim
on a boat,
Stebbins
will the
replaced
hose
all them
line
lines.
extend to where, as far as the docks go?
We're not discussing the fire hoses, we're discussing the actual pipes that feed the fireboxes. They're broke.
On which piers?
On all of the liveaboard, there's, dock 11, dock, I think he's still looking at dock 22, dock 20 and dock 21. There's breaks underneath all of that. We don't even know how long those have been broken for.
Which ones are functioning? On the
None
board.
right now.
None?
None, right? This is an emergency, Eric.
So none of the hoses are working?
None. Now, I wanna ask
That I didn't
Jamie,
know. Did you know that?
I've been talking to everybody about this.
I didn't know that.
Jimmy, did you know that?
Jimmy, question for you. Are there any other broken fire valves or anything on any of the other non-liveaboard